Hello everyone, my name is Gustav Mukete, Modimi Mukete. I am a student at California Intercontinental University. So today we'll look at how we can visualize hypothesis tests. So to our agenda for today, so we'll have a quick introduction. We'll look at a test for a mean. We'll compare two groups. We'll also look at efficiency comparison. We'll look at correlation test and then take a look at a few takeaways. So, our introduction here, what is a hypothesis? So a hypothesis is a provisional testable statement which predicts an expected outcome from empirical data. So what am I saying here? So with a hypothesis, we are trying to test something or a situation under study. So in order to get this tested, we'll make use of the null and the alternative hypothesis. What's the difference here? With the null hypothesis, we are trying to prove that there is no to show that there is no relationship between the two variables under consideration or observation, while with the alternative we are saying that there is a tentative relationship between the two variables under observation. So we'll move to our first test here, which is the test for a mean. So what is this visual picture telling us here? This is telling us here that on average there is a 40% chance that the number of defective widgets, zero number of defective widgets will be picked out from that sample of 100. And what is our hypothesis here? From our research question, which is saying on average are the widgets from Acme Widget Company defect free, the null hypothesis here is saying that there is the average defect is equal to 0 if a sample is picked up from out of the 100. And the alternative hypothesis is saying that the average defect is not equal to 0. So we are saying here that on average the widgets from Acme Widget Company are not defect free. Second scenario, which is comparing two groups. So here we're comparing the major and the minor league in terms of the home run hitters. So the null hypothesis here is saying that there is no difference in the number of home run hitters between the major and the minor league teams, while the alternative is saying that on average there is a difference between the number of home run hitters in the major and the minor league teams. Scenario, which is the efficiency curve of the red and the blue teams recording. So the question here is, do the teams have equal mean efficiencies? What is our null and or alternative hypothesis here? So the null hypothesis here is saying that there is no difference in the average mean efficiencies. That's why we see the difference between the first mean and the second mean equal 0. And the alternative hypothesis is saying that there is a difference in the average mean efficiencies. So we'll move to visualization, which is a correlation test. So here from the very first look we can tell that there is a negative relationship between the weight and the average miles per gallon in this study. So we see that when the weight increases, the miles per gallon reduces. So what is our question here? Our question here is, what were the study's null and alternative hypothesis? Apparently the researchers here failed to mention the null and the alternative hypothesis. So we are assuming that rho here will stand for a correlation coefficient. So with the null hypothesis, we are saying that there is no correlation between the weight and the mass in gallons. While the alternative hypothesis is saying that there is a relationship between the weight and the mass in gallon from this study. So we'll move to our important takeaways here. The first one in terms of creating hypothesis tests is there is simplicity in terms of research questions. So our hypothesis tests help us to simplify our research questions. The next important thing here is the ability to facilitate scientific decision making. So just like we have seen with the 4 scenarios above, our hypothesis help us to design or develop or craft that scientific decision in a very quick fashion. So in terms of visualizations, we see that we can quickly get reflections based on our visualizations. Like with the last test, we could easily detect that there was negative relationship between the two variables in question. And also, it provides easy assimilation and interpretation of statistical data. So visualizations can help you to get that quick picture from millions and millions of data in just seconds. So it helps you to quickly assimilate and interpret statistical data. So thank you again for watching this piece, and if you have any questions, feel free to post your questions, and I wish you a great evening. Thank you.